Okay, so in this discussion, let's try to understand how threads work in Python, or how you can create threads in Python. But before we create any thread or understand how what is threading, let's try to understand the concept of threading and what is exactly threading, and what does it mean. Okay, so threading is a process wherein you can have a main process, or threading is a concept, I should say, rather it is not a process, it is a concept where you can have a main process split into sub processes, so that you can get more done with that main process that was running. So for example, I will try to explain you with an Excel sheet. Okay, so let's say I open Excel sheet here in front of you, or a better example would be like, I will explain with Excel sheet, but before that, let me say that this is your media player on your maybe desktop or a laptop, or maybe any other player which you use on your mobiles, right? Now this is the main process which is running. Yes. Now this process can be broken down into multiple sub processes, so that one process it plays songs, right? Second process it download songs, right? Another process is to create playlist, right? And simultaneously you could be browsing songs maybe with the help of this player on the net, right? Now what you have done, the main process was your media player or the player which you are using, but you have broken down broken down this media player process into sub processes, so that you could be doing many things or switching between each one of them without interrupting either of the processes, right? Or rather sub processes. If it was the only single process running, let's say at only one point of time you can only create media player, so while you're creating media player, your song downloads can also happen in the background. So the concept of threading is that you can break down the big process into sub processes, so that you can get more done with the help of sub processes or the threads that you create. The benefit is that the CPU cycles are not wasted, meaning that whenever CPU is idle, a thread can go make use of that CPU and perform some task, right? So this is a concept of threading. So another example could be, let's say if this is an Excel sheet in front of me, let's say I'm typing here hello, HELLO, Python. Okay, while I'm typing here, I am also firing a command saying control P. So let's say I'll say control P here. It brings up a printer for me. Okay, and I print. So in the background, the print is going on, and I am still typing, for example. So this uh, Excel sheet which you see in front of you is a main process, wherein one of the sub process or a thread of that main process is that I'm editing or typing here, plus in the background a print is also going on, right? So we have split the main processes into multiple sub processes, and this is a concept of threading. Now let's try to do some programming to understand how this threading works. But before we do that, let's take an example to create, let's say, let me open my PyCharm. So I will open my project. So here I'll create another folder. So new, I'll create a directory here, com.c2t.threads, right? So first of all, let's try to look at a concept of sleep. We are going to use sleep in our threads. So let's first understand how sleep works. Sleep one, I'm going to call it sleep1.py file or a Python file. So for this, what I have to do is that there is a package. There are a few packages which are provided in Python. I mean, we are going to look at more packages as we move along, but there is a package called time. So I'll say import time here. All right. Now here I'll say where equal to 5, for example, or let's say where equal to, okay, 5 we will say. Now I'm saying while v is greater than 0, while v is greater than 0, I'm saying print of value of v while, okay, this is where var value of var equals to comma var, right? So this is how I'm displaying the value, and then I'm also saying that var equal to var minus 1. Now if I run this program, this is going to execute very fast, right? And we will see the output as 5 4 3 2 1, and let's run this program. So I'll see output 5 4 3 2 1, and this is running pretty fast. So what if I want to make this particular thread which is running? What is a thread? In this case, the program or the thread which I'm running, if I want to slow it down or make it to go to sleep, so what I'll say, I will say time dot sleep, and I'll give here seconds. So this is, I'm telling that wait for once after displaying or after decrementing the var with 1, go for sleep for 1 second, means don't do anything. So now you will see that output that is coming here at the bottom here below, it will come slowly after the span of 1 second. So let's try to run this program again. So where 5 4, if you will see here 3 2 1, right? So we can give arbitrary number of sleep here. What if I give a negative number? Let's see, run as, it says sleep length must be non-negative, right? If I give it as 0, it is as good as don't go to sleep at all, right? So let's right click and run. It's again same as having not given any sleep. So can you please try this program, and then we'll start the concept of threading. Okay, now to understand threading concept, let's try to do a normal program, and then I'll convert that normal program into a thread. Okay, so let's create a file. I'll call it thread1, thread1. Now in this thread1, I have to again import two modules. So I'll say import threading, comma, I'm also going to import time. Now let's create let me create a method here. So I'll say def of my thread method. Let's call it my thread. Okay, and for now it is not doing anything fancy, so I will just say print. I'm saying here I am my thread. Okay, that's all I'm trying to do here. Now let me go to this next line here, and I will call this particular method. So how do I call it? I will say that if I have to call this method, I'll simply say my thread, and if I run this program, what will happen? Let's see what happens. It displays me that I am my thread, right? So that's pretty much we are doing. Now two things let's do here to understand the concept of threading well. In order to display the name of the thread that is running, I will say print, and I'll say thread threading dot current thread. Okay, so let me copy this and I will put it here, and then this I'll put it 1 and I will also copy and paste it here. Okay, within the method. Now what this does, this particular method, what it is trying to do is that it is giving the current thread which is running. Okay, so if I run this, run, can you see that both the numbers are same? So when I'm calling my thread here, so the thread which is running or the thread which calls the method is same as the thread which is actually running the program. And how do I know that? Because in both the cases I have my IDs as same here. It means it must be the same process, right? So processes have basically same ID. Now let's try something different this time. Let me go ahead and comment this, and I'm going to say thread equal to threading dot thread threading dot th thread open bracket close bracket, and I'll say tar target target equal to, I'm giving the name of this particular method here, right? So I'm just giving the name of the method. I don't give any bracket, because if I give a bracket it will be called to the method. So I'm just giving the name of the method that is there, and then after that I'll say thread dot start, right? After doing that, again I'll copy and paste this here. I'm going to copy and paste this here, okay, and this is one, and I'll make it 2 here. Let's say I'll make it 2 here, and I will also put a sleep, which is time dot sleep just to show you that it definitely waits for certain amount of time sleep. And I'll say print after sleep of to seconds, right? So what is happening, I create a thread here, and then I specify that for creation of this thread the target is this method, means a new thread should start for this particular method, right? And then when I say t dot start, it actually creates a thread. Now how do I know that it is actually creating a new thread? By looking at the two different IDs of the processes or the threads that are running. So if I right click and say run, can you see that these two IDs are different this time? Yes. So this ID is the ID of this particular thread which started the execution of my program, and second thread is this thread which is running in this particular method, which is with this ID number 11908. So both the IDs are separate. Now interesting fact which you should observe here is that generally how the program works, when you write a, if I run this program, a thread is created, it will call start will call I am my thread, it will display this, okay. Then soon after that it displays this value, it should have displayed this, right? So once it come at line number 4, so line number 4 output is this, isn't it? Now after line number 4 it should it should display line number 5 value, but the output which we get is from line number 15. So what is happening is basically I have two threads which are switching between the CPU. Whosoever gets the turn, that is executed, and then the execution of the program happens, okay. So since both have same priority, either one of them who gets the chance to run will get the CPU and start execution, and that is how they are running one after the other, right? Until one of the thread finishes, and the rest of the thread, meaning the other thread, will continue with the execution. Clear? So can you please try this program? No, line number 13 we are not importing, we have already imported the module here, and from that I am calling the thread method, right? This dot of whatever is that particular method, in this I am passing this argument here, right? Whatever goes inside the bracket, that is the argument.
Okay, so the target made this thread as a new
yes method. So when I say target equal to this, it means on this method create a new thread. So execution between line number 4 to 7 will constitute a new thread. Yeah. So if I display this again here, this also will have the same ID, right? Yes. So let's say I create one more thread to make you understand it better. Let's say I create one more thread. Fine. So I go ahead here and I say thread 2, and in order to make it simple, I will go ahead and I will put this method also as 2, right? So here I will make it 2.1, 2.2, 2.2 and 2.3, here I'll make 3.1 and 3.2, 3.2, right? So if I try to do this way, now here my target should be this one, right? And then if I say this dot start, it will spawn or create a new thread for this particular piece of code which I have highlighted, right? And the ID of this thread, this one and this one, is going to be same, because it is the first thread which is actually kicking off the execution of my program, but the value of 3.1 ID and 3.2 ID is going to be same. Similarly, 2.1 and 2.2 ID is also going to be same, because this is within that particular thread, this is in that particular thread, right? So let's try to run this program. Run. So one, so first of all, 1 and 1, so this one which is 18640 and 1 is 18640, both the ones are same, right? Yes. And then 2.1 and 2.2 is going to be same ID, so 2.1 is 5136 5136, 2.2, and 3.1 is 16340 16340, right? So this is how we have created. In this case there are three threads. One is the first thread or the main thread which started execution. Second thread is created because of this program, or sorry, not program, due to this line number 21 and 22, which calls or starts a thread here, and it has its own ID. Similarly, an ID in this particular uh, thread, right? Can you please try it out?